what's really going to happen, and what has happened, and what will happen before this show's over. And now,
I, Crazy Bob, have witnessed numerous outbreaks of terror and unexplained paranormal aberrations that have occurred inside of these 3-foot thick concrete walls. I ask each and every one of you tonight, is it real or not? Maybe it's just a little mental phobia of fear in everyone's mind here tonight. Well, let's find out, shall we?
we have been investigated by many, many paranormal groups. Why, just take a look at some of the evidence.
I'm Jeff George, and I am the host of the paranormal groups that come into the Haunted Hydro and spend the night. I've done extensive research at the Hayes Center for Bob on this facility, and I'm usually the one they ask if they have a question concerning the property, who lived here, who died here, etc. And I always try to keep an open mind, but yet again, I'm a tough sell. I'm not really a skeptic. I'm just somebody you have to show me. Last year, we were in the Hydro overnight, and we were out during an EVP session, and we were spread out throughout this building right behind me, which is the holding tank. And in the northeast corner, I was standing with a young lady and her daughter, and just out of nowhere, we heard a little girl laugh. Well, it sounded like a little girl's laugh. And I looked at them, and they looked at me, and it was like, did you hear what I just heard, or am I hearing things? And they had the same look on their face that I had on mine. And that is the first time that I really and truly had an experience where I actually heard something that was just unexplainable.
It's the Haunted Hydro, but it's just like someone was watching you the whole time you were there, and I guess that kind of ekes on you a little bit too. But we took some photos. We actually got to go into the cellar, and we got some activity, at least on our part down there. We got a lot of orbs, and which was amazing for that area because it was so humid and wet that you wouldn't expect any dust particles to be kicked up.
We were by the window, the whole group of us, and 2 of us kept hearing something, like a moaning. Nobody else heard it. And it sounded like a cow. Well, this is like 3 in the morning. You're not going to hear a cow, next to the river. But no idea what the moaning was. And so never figured that one out. That was creepy.
We decided to spend some time out in the courtyard area, which is outside of the main structure, but it's still within the hydro, the confines of the hydro, and you're actually outside. If you look up, you can see the sky out there. And we decided to just kind of hang out in the courtyard area and just do an EVP session, monitor, just see what kind of experience we would have. We got out there, not too long after we got out there, it sounded like there's a fence that separates the courtyard area from the main structure. And you could hear what sounded like footsteps, like somebody was just on the other side of that fence, walking up and down the fence line. Now there's a little small, when you do the tour, when you actually go through the hydro, when it's in operation, there's a particular area where you work your way through the courtyard and then you come around that fence. A few times it sounded like the footsteps would come down to that area where you would think that somebody's about ready to walk out in the courtyard, and it would just stop short. Every time we'd go around to that side of the fence, it would stop. There we'd get nothing. So after a while we decided, well, what else can we get whatever this is to do? So we asked, well, can you give us any other indications of your presence? Can you do anything else? Footsteps stopped for a while. Then we started to hear It sounded like somebody was throwing stones against the side of the building. You'd hear the stones hit it, and then you'd hear the echoes as the stones would fall down, back down the concrete, back to the ground. So this went on for probably half an hour, and again, every time we'd go cross over the side of the fence, we did it I think twice, I think we went over that side of the fence, it would stop. And finally, after, like I said, after about a half hour, it finally stopped altogether.
The Haunted Hydro was built in 1911, and over the last 101 years, it was used to generate power for the city of Fremont as the hydroelectric power plant until the early 40s when it was decommissioned. That's right, take a look at some of these rivers and the dam and the beautiful scenery that's still here. But it all hides the untold truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is one of the holding cells where the water was kept before the gates were open. And also there were 2 devastational floods that occurred in 1913, which created a dam breakage, Ballville Dam breakage. Why don't you know? Water is a perfect conduit for spirits.
I think the energy comes from the river. The river flows right beside the hydro, and I think it's just a constant source of energy. The one time I think when we had the most activity, there was a flood, and the river was really high, and it was really, really flowing.
Oh my God! You see it? Oh my God, Brian, look! Brian, come here, look. See it? Do you see her?
Over by the cross. We both
No, are you looking in?
Yeah.
Do you see it? Oh my God, it was a young woman. Did you see it? Holy shit, did you see it?
I'm trying to
She's gone, Brian. Holy fucking shit. She's gone.
Dang. Lost the eye.
She's gone. She's gone. Oh my God, that was...
I don't want to scare you. Well, maybe I do. I don't want to frighten you. Yes, I do. What I want to do is tell you the honest truth. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the floors beneath my feet shake with tremors uncontrollably.
Down into the basement. They all want to go in the basement. When they take pictures, every single group on their cameras have these red orbs, and they show up in the same exact places on all the cameras. And the groups that have done this has been over a 3-year period, so they don't talk to one another, and I don't tell anybody about the red orbs. I just keep quiet. I don't say anything. I just observe. And no one can explain them. First they thought they were dust. Well, if they're dust particles, they wouldn't be in the exact same place every time. So that gives one pause to wonder, what are they?
You know, during the building of the hydroelectric power plant, that is true, a construction worker was electrocuted to death. Crispy Critter, we called him. You know what that is? That's a little spider. Arachnophobia is what it's called. And we have huge spiders that come from out of nowhere here at the Haunted Hydro. Wicked little things that jump all over the patrons. Watch out!
If there was a mirror inside, and people would take a picture of it. And when the pictures came back, there would be different faces. Not the person who took the picture, but just different faces that no one, I don't think, even could identify. They weren't sure who they were. So I never had a chance to see the mirror because I wasn't with them when they were taking the pictures. But I remember the people going, "Oh my God."
I want you to come with me. Take a little trip, yes sirree. Bloody Mary, say it with me. Bloody Mary, say it louder. Bloody Mary! Ah! Oh, hi. The remains of an Indian burial ground are said to be right in this immediate area, according to the archives at the Hayes Presidential Center. That's right. Beneath our ground are the graves of dead, nasty, rotting things. Smell them?
People have heard voices that they could not explain. They said, I heard the laugh, but some people have seen a little girl walk around, and I believe one of the groups got that on one of their cameras.
I'll say one thing for the hydro: you can, once the lights are turned out, and you're in there for a while, and you kind of get settled in, and kind of start feeling. You can feel that there's something else with you.
Here. Oh, she's got the camera. Ready?
Yes.
Let me see where that.
Do you want me? It'll probably fall a little. All right.
Did it go?
Yeah.